University. Today we're in the shop and we're going to talk about shade, rack, and reset on this video. And we're going to cover how to fix what you can see we have here is a shade, an ATF to be specific, a non-silent glide shade. So we've got the actuators here where you would normally come out as a technician on the boat and you find them in the rack position where you've got one that's longer than the other one. So the first step in the process is to make sure that we check voltage. When we normally check voltage, we would come into the controller and we would check with our voltmeter. Take our negative probe, place it on the green. Positive probe goes on the red and read your voltage. You should have at least 12 volts coming into the control box. Then your next step is to check from green to orange. Make sure you have greater than 12 volts coming in. Your red is power supply to your motors. Orange is power supply to your motherboard. Have to have 12 volts on both. There's a 5 amp fuse for your orange and a 15 for the red. If either one of these doesn't have voltage on it, you need to find the blown fuse, replace it, and check voltage again. Okay? Once you've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to use our tape measure. It's right here in front of me. And we're going to measure the two tubes. So we normally are going to take our measurement from the face of the largest black collar and we're going to measure out to the face of the smaller black collar. And right there we've got 17 inches. Okay? Then we measure our other one and we've got roughly 6 7/8 inches. So we need to come in about 10 inches to even these up. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over to the control box. 1, 2, 3, and 4 don't ever touch. Those are only for programming the control box. Number 5 is to control what's plugged into this channel, which should always be the port actuator. Number 6 is going to control whatever's plugged into this terminal or channel, which usually controls the starboard actuator. Number 7 resets the home position. And number 8, just to clarify some things that have been a little confused in the past. Number 8 is only used to trick the control box into thinking it's fully extended and to only come in. So to simplify 7 and 8, 7 tells the control box it's all the way in to only travel out. 8 tells the control box it's all the way out to only travel in. That's pretty much as simple as you can make it. So right now, our port actuator is the one that's out farthest. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on number 5. Okay, so number 5 is on, so we should be controlling the port actuator, and we're going to try and retract that actuator. Okay, and as you see it's coming in, what we're going to do is we're going to try and eyeball it to see where it comes in even. Okay, we're going to measure. So again, this was 6 7/8. That's 8 inches, so we're going to come in a little bit more. The actuators are even. So now what we would do is we come back into our controller and we're going to turn off number 7, or number 5, excuse me. All right? So now all we've done is place the controller back into normal mode. What we want to do is we want both actuators to come in together. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on number 8, press the reset button and let it go. You saw the little green LED light up, and now we're going to turn number 8 off. Okay? So right now your controller is under the impression that your actuators are completely extended and to only come in, even though we're only 7 inches, 7 7/8 inches extended. You have to be very careful during this stage to not over retract your actuators. What can happen is when you go to retract this, your controller is only programmed to understand one thing and one thing only. How many feet of extension do I travel? In or out? That's all it knows. It does not optically see these actuators. So the problem is, right now, we reset number 8. If we pressed and held the rocker switch, this controller would try and drive these actuators 6 feet in. Well, we don't have 6 feet to go. So now you wind up with a situation of having them over retracted. Okay? Same thing goes when we retract them and we get our 1 inch, which I'll show you in a second, when you have 1 inch, you're going to do a reset on number 7. That tells the controller that it's fully retracted, ready to operate as normal from home. If we reset number 7 right now, and then hit extend, we would then overextend these actuators because we're already out 7 7/8 inches. You don't have 6 feet to go. So you want to be very careful when you're messing with 7 and 8 where your actuators are, because you're the only one that understands where they are. The controller only knows what you tell them. So what we're going to do now is we turned on number 8, hit reset, turn number 8 off. So now we're ready to retract. So now we're going to go ahead and retract these actuators, and they'll come in together. And we want to stop them when we're getting close. Okay, let's get in close. Take our ruler out, measure from face of black collar to the face of the smaller black collar. So as you can see right there, we're about 1 3/4. All right, so that's about perfect. That's 1 inch right there, and we're 1 inch right there. So right now, these actuators are parked at home. So what we have to do now is we're going to tell the controller you are in the home position to only extend. So we do that by turning number 7 on, hit set, green light comes on, turn 7 off. So now when we hit extend and we have the sufficient amount of voltage, both actuators will travel out normally. That, as you saw, was what we call auto pause, which is completely normal. It can happen 6, 7 times on the way out, 6 or 7 times on the way back. It's normal. You've got 2 electric motors, neither one of them travel at the same speed, so we put sensors on the ends of the motors. So every time they go past the magnet and you get a pickup, it communicates through the sensor wire to the control box that it's passed one time. It might see the port motor going faster. So it's going to pause the port motor so the starboard one that's slower can catch up. So again, auto pause, completely normal. I get calls all the time, is that normal for it to stop like that? Yes, it is. 6 or 7 times, completely normal on the way out. You'll generally get more auto pauses on the way out than you will on the way back, because on the way back, the canvas roller that has spring tension in it is actually pulling on the actuators, which is helping the motor to come in faster. Okay? Okay, one of the other things that I wanted to go over real quick is when you have a racked system and you're trying to bring the actuators in, another question that I have is, hey Chris, I can run the one actuator out, but it won't come back to 1 inch. I can run it out and run back and it stops at the same point. That's the key that you're looking for, is if you can run that actuator out and it comes back, it'll go out and back, but it comes back to that same spot. Let's just call it 4 inches. It'll go out to 6 inches and back to 4 inches each time, out and back. The problem that you're experiencing is the controller is under the impression that's home. So it's not going to allow it to come back any further. Next question I get is, well, why does my other one travel back in? Well, because the controller thinks that one has a different home position. Because when it lost memory, it might have had so many counts on the port and so many counts on the starboard. So again, the only thing that matters is, Chris, I can extend it and retract it, but it comes back to the same spot. So what you have to do at that point is, you have to trick the controller into thinking, that's not home, this is. So when you have that actuator stopping at 4.5 inches, what you have to do is you turn on number 8, you hit reset, and then turn 8 off, okay? Then what you can do is when you're trying to retract that specific actuator, say it's the port actuator, you turn on number 5, and it'll allow you to retract it all the way back to your 1 inch. You turn number 5 off, okay? Then what we're gonna do is, now we both port and starboard are at home, turn on 7, hit set, turn it off. That's it, you're ready to deploy the shade. So that pretty much covers how to fix a racked shade. If you guys have any other questions, please go to SureShade.com go to the service tab on the top, scroll down. We'll have all of our videos, including this one, on the page for you to view, and you can look at them on the boat and pull them down from there.